All right, okay, so let's get into the next fight. Raymond Muratalla versus Andy Cruz. This is a very key fight. Definitely a key fight. Let me say a big fight because the lightweight division and the light welterweight division is, really spicy. This month period because at the end of the month we got Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. That's the light welterweight. They're gonna be at 140. So we want to inform because it might be some we women might be some women that's trying to tap into. Not saying that the men, but I'm just saying we got to get our new subscribers. They need to know like lightweight division is 130, 135 pounds, and the light welterweight division is 140 pounds. So like I said, that's heating up. Shakur versus Teo, and then you got Keyshawn Davis versus Jermaine Ortiz as the co-main at the end. And so the reason why I'm bringing that up is because this is a key fight in the lightweight division. Even though Andy Cruz versus Raymond Muratalla, if I'm enunciating that right properly, they won 135. But all of them, in the little pond, in the little together.
That's a good card.
So how you feel about this Raymond versus Andy fight? Like, what's your thoughts? You want me to go first? Or how you
go first on this one? Because I'm still trying to gather my thoughts. You go first on this one. I'm still trying to figure it out.
So one point I wanted to make, right off the bat with this fight is the trainers. Because Andy Cruz is with Bosi Ennis. Everybody know that's Jerron Ennis Boots father. And then Raymond is with Robert Garcia, who to me is one of the best trainers right now in the pros. So he trains one of my favorite fighters. I call him a bite-sized fighter, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, and then he trains Virgil Ortiz. So I feel like that's very key too because everybody know in the boxing streets right now, Ortiz and Ennis is kind of going back and forth because they're trying to get a fight. So it's like trainer versus trainer. That's a big deal right now because Robert Garcia is training Ortiz, and then Ennis, of course, with his son, and then so you got Andy Cruz and you got Raymond going about the fight. So I feel like that's a little preview, even though it's different fighters, but just to see, I'm all about, the trainers too, the coaching, just to see the thought process, like how the strategy. And I think with this fight, strategy and game planning, because this has the possible to be a 50-50 fight to me. This could be a fan favorite. Now you kind of, so what that mean?
I mean, cause I'm still thinking. I'm just listening to what you're
Oh,
saying.
okay. I thought you.
I mean, you can train anybody all day. When you get in that ring, it's hey, you gonna go back to what you've been doing, or you gonna, do what you've been, training over the last 6, 7, 8 weeks. So, I say that to say training very key. Trainer is important. All that's important. But when the two fighters get in that ring, it's go time. So that's what I'm trying to say. So nothing to the trainers, because again, that's definitely entertaining too when the trainers go back and forth and seeing who the best of the best. But as far as this fight, Cruz is very well decorated. Very well decorated amateur.
Hold on 1 second, because I gotta say something about the
Y'all got to go look at our last one. We did that all night.
I'm not saying no, because like I'm just saying no. You made a key point. Yes, of course, it's about when you get in the it's the when you get in the ring, it's the fighters, but the trainers. I always talk about coaching. Coaching is key because the trainer is the person that's able to has a certain set of eyes that you might be able to see, and you always need that great leader or that person behind you. Some of the greatest boxers had some of the greatest trainers, so that's why that point, even though I know you said it's a key point, but I wanted to piggyback on that. The reason why I said that, because that's very key, because you're going to be able to see too, still, as far as strategy. And with boxing, it's about thinking. It's a thinking game about who can outsmart who. So we're gonna see it's the battle of the ring IQs. So with Andy and Raymond being in the ring together, we're gonna see who has that IQ, and also as far as with the training element, who had the better game plan and who executed and listened to their trainer to
Oh,
come
okay.
out
So
on
that's what you're
top.
saying. Okay,
Yeah,
got it. Okay, so yeah, no, that that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put my foot wet into the training, and so I know training is very key, very important.
yeah,
We had one of the best, legendary Emmanuel Stewart. I mean, how many champions he have? So no, trainers are very key. That's for sure. I wasn't saying like that. I was just saying like it's entertaining when the trainers are going to edit. It just make more for the fight or whatever. But no, definitely, trainers are very key for that one. But far as Cruz, Cruz have a very decorated amateur career. 149 fights, amateur. He lost 9 of those fights. I think he got 6 gold medals. One at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. He has 2 for the Pan Am, and he have 3 for the not USA Boxing, 3 for the IEBA world title. So one thing I like about Cruz is 30 years old. He didn't win one title and then run and then turn pro. He picked up 5 more. So I feel like Cruz is in his prime. 30 years old, he's 6-0, and he's fighting somebody 23-0. That speaks volumes. I think how he went about his career, a lot of more boxers should consider doing that. It's not for everybody, but it seemed to be working for Cruz. So with his background, his decorated background, again, like you said, his trainer. Uh, I mean, I like Cruz. I like how he's moving. I do like how he's moving in boxing though. So Muratalla, uh, yeah, yeah, 28 years old. 23-0. When I first saw this, I was wondering why they even grouped those 2 guys up, but now it makes sense. Um, Cruz is 30, so he can move a little faster. And again, he's in his prime. So we have to see what that look like. Again, that's 6. He don't have that much experience as a pro. So that's the only thing that he kind of got going, not in his favor. But the 23-0, 6-0, we'll see what he, how those, can he go the distance and, that things of that sort. I think he went the distance twice. He went a 10 round and a 9 round. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to Cruz on this one.
Okay, you going with Cruz? Okay, so yep. That was a key point you said too, because it's a difference between the amateurs and pros. Because so with Raymond, I feel like he has the experience due to he has more fights in the pros. But like you said, overall, Cruz with his experience, you like how they move, moving them, you know. Maybe I kind of I see what you're saying. I mean, I feel like that was a great point too. Like how you was talking about as far as with Cruz having the Olympic gold medal, all the experience he's had prior before getting to the pros, so he's like very ready. But some people could say it's been still a slow start, slow pace as well. But if I didn't say this already, I feel like this could be one of them fights. Very good fights, very very good fight. And we, like I said, we really gonna get to see, like, okay, is Cruz, really truly like that? Because also a key point, that's why I brought up Keyshawn Davis, because he fighting at the end of the month, because Cruz fought Keyshawn Davis, I believe, in the amateurs 4 times, and he beat him all 4 times. Yeah. So that's a big key thing. And then with Raymond, he fought Ryan Garcia and beat him in the amateurs. He said he had 3 wins over Ryan Garcia. And so I feel like it's certain things that they both do really well. Both fighters to me are very technically sound. Let's get into a little bit of like what Raymond is good at. I like to, give a slay analysis. He's very technically skilled. Like I said, like he set up good combinations, his feints, his variety of punches, like his combos. Now, one thing I did notice about Raymond too, though, he leaves his lead hand down. So he, like AndyCruz, definitely has that ability to, catch him, especially, countering. I feel like whoever jabbed that night, who's ever jab gonna be clicking, able to, jab
Timing,
and
the timing,
timing,
yup.
jab and counter. I feel like that's gonna be very key. So I feel like AndyCruz can, definitely catch Raymond slipping, and then Raymond can catch Andy slipping too, because at times Andy Cruz can lose focus. So so we'll be able to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be like you said. Time is gonna be real key here. And then again, it's gonna be the experience in the pro ring. We know transitioning from amateur to pro is a little different. Again, Cruz only has 6 fights, but again, his amateur career, he's been up against some of the best with that. He has a very decorated amateur career. So 23-0. When you look at Raymond, who he's fought some decent people in amateur, but pro, he kind of took the route of a typical pro would take. Coming in, he ain't coming in, like Cruz coming in, but he came in like he needed to come in. So I think it's gonna be a good fight altogether. But that experience at 23, having 23 fights in the pro ring, it's gonna be a big difference from having 6. So we'll see. We'll see how I go. But I still think Cruz. I think he's gonna pull it off.
I think too. Shakur made a good point about Andy Cruz too. I like what he said. This was like months ago in the interview, how he talked about like basically he feel like because the interviewer asked, how would it be, him fighting, Shakur going up against Andy, and he said that would be a good fight, like kind of like a chess match, and he was talking about his IQ too. So I'm big on that. And then Raymond and Andy, when they did their interview, both of them was saying, that they were smarter than the other one. So it's gonna be like, who gonna outsmart the other person. And with Cruz too, his defense, his reflexes, his accuracy, his punching, and then he can definitely unload, and especially like give you like relentless pressure at times. And then Raymond has a very high activity rate. So we gonna see, like I said, who is going to get the best of the person. Let me give out my prediction, because I don't be
But you made a good point though, because coming off amateurs you throw way more punches than you do in pro. So him coming off an amateur and having such a decorated amateur background, he used to throwing them bombs. I mean, he used to throwing his hands. So if Raymond lowering his hand and all that, it's going to be very detrimental for him, because time is going to play a big part. Because both guys have a IQ or whatever, but when you have 149 fights as an amateur and you only lose 9 of them, and you won so many titles, hey, you gonna have to keep your hands up, Raymond. You gonna have to keep your hands up, because that's key right there. That's key.
Yeah. So we gonna really see with this fight, like I feel like learn like, okay, like certain weaknesses, like see if certain things are more exposed than we have in the past due to who they already fought. But like I said too, I think I said this, like Raymond does have a high activity rate. And like you were saying too, if Raymond like but still with his defense, due to like how Cruz can come, and even his experience, even though it hasn't been in the pros, but he still has done so many great
and not only
things.
that, Raymond been in there 23 times, and with the smaller gloves, no headgear. That makes a difference. That makes a difference too. So, I mean, we'll see. But I'm still gonna roll with Cruz on this one. But it's gonna be a good fight though. I think it's gonna be a good one.
Yep, I'm giving the edge. I'm giving the edge to Cruz, but I'm very I'm gonna get an edge to Andy Cruz, but this fight to me definitely can go either way, depending on how, just looking at like certain film I've seen from both of them, the footage from both of them. This is one of them fights where it definitely can go either way. So we'll see. Hopefully they give us a really exciting fight, because I really feel like this could be one of a very good fight to start the year off.
Yeah, it's gonna be a test for Cruz for sure. It's gonna be a test, definitely a test. So we'll see.
Yeah, so y'all got our thoughts. You already know what time it is. It's 3 punch combo. Once again, it's Continue the Boxing Truth. Is low behind the scenes on the cam. What up, though, low? And it's the Queen Mike K. It's Afternoon Sports Slate. Make sure you go over to my channel too on YouTube, and make sure you hit that subscribe button over on 3 Punch Combo. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the like button, and check us out on IG as well at 3 Punch Combo Media, because I forgot to say that last time. You already know what time it is.